Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Welcome to free online class of BEE 31902. As you all know, this week is a free online class, so we will conduct our class today online. We are now reached subtopic 4.4, which is the concept of equivalence. Basically, there are four terminologies that is important to you to understand this terminology throughout this chapter. So, which is the terminology is payment period, compounding period, interest rate period, and compounding frequency. The explanation of those terminologies you can read by in this slide by yourselves. So, I will start with the comparing PP versus CP. So basically, frequency of cash flow doesn't equal to the frequency of interest compounding. So to correctly perform any equivalent computation, it is essential that the payment period and compounding period be placed on the same time basis, that the interest rate and the number of period be adjusted accordingly. There is three cases, which is the first one is when payment period equal to compounding period, and then second case is when payment period greater than compounding period, and then finally is when the payment period less than compounding period. So we will see the example of each case. Started from case 1, payment period equal to compounding period. How do we know the payment period is equal to compounding period? Okay, let's read the example. An engineer plans to borrow 3,000 from his company credit union to be paid in 24 equal monthly installments. The credit union charges interest at the rate of 1% per month on the unpaid balance. How much money must the engineer repay each month? So we extract the data first. So we know the principal value that the engineer borrow is 3,000, and then the R is 1% per month. Payment period is 1 month, and then 1 month for 2 years, and then the compounding period is 1 month. So we draw the diagram in the visual. It's like this. We have 12 compounding period in a year and 12 times payment period in a year. So this means the payment period and compounding period is same. So how to solve this case? So we use this equation, A equal to P or A slash P. This value we can get from the table, which I will show in the next class, and then 1% for 24 months. So we got the value of this. Okay, now I hope you understand the first case, and we will go to the second case where payment period is greater than compounding period. So we read the example. An engineer deposits 1,000 in a saving account at the end of each year. If the bank pay interest at the rate of 6% per year compounded quarterly, how much money will be accumulated in account after 5 years? So we draw it. So we know in a year there is four quarters. So we have and then the payment will be the interest rate will be charged at the end of the year. So the payment period is at the end of the year. So we know that the borrow money is 1,000, and the rate is not 6% per year compounded quarterly. So from this diagram we know that the payment period is 1 year, but the compounding period is 1 quarter, which means 1 year got 12 months and 1 quarter is 3 months. So payment period is much more greater than the compounding period. So how to solve it? Okay, this is how to solve it. For the case payment period greater than compounding period, we use F slash P. Also, the value of F slash CP we got from the table. I will teach you how to use the table in the next class. And then, okay, the last case is when payment period is less than compounding period. So basically, there's two situations. Situation one is more to the mode operation of banks and lending institutions, where the interest is earned only by those payments that have been deposited or invested for the entire interest compounding interest period. So you may read and understand by yourself. And then the situation 2 is any amount of money that is deposited between compounding times earn compounding interest. So the number of CPs per PP is now less than 1. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, the situation 2 can be present in the diagram like so. We know that there is a payment period before the compounding period. The compounding period, let's say here is 3 months, and then the payment period been done at second month. So that's mean the PP is less than CP. Okay, that's all for subtopic 4.4. We are changed to cash flow diagram. So for flow diagram, it can the representation is cash flow and inflows of money. Okay, so every person or company has cash receipts. Revenue and income is the example of cash inflows, and cash disbursement, which is expenses or costs, is cash outflow. So plus sign indicate the cash inflows and minus sign indicates the cash outflows. So for example, so for cash inflow, usually the arrow is downwards. So the example is salaries, revenue, and etc. And for cash outflow, the arrow is upwards. So the example of cash outflow including all costs and income tax. The cash flow estimates are just estimates, which is meaning that there is some uncertainty involved in. So the net cash flow means cash inflow minus cash outflow. So this is important to understand the cash flow diagram. Okay, now we go for the cash flow diagram. Cash flow diagram is an important tool in economic analysis. It is a graphical representation of cash flow drawn on a time scale. In the cash flow diagram, t equal to 0 is the present and t equals to 1 is the end of time period 1. So in this diagram, the 0 is means the time you borrow the money, and the first is the number 1 is year 1. So if you have borrow for 5 years, so the cash flow should be like this. But how to represent in the cash flow diagram? So actually a sign conversion is applied. So for this case, the red arrow and upwards arrow represent the positive cash flow inflows, normally drawn upward from the timeline, and for the blue one, downwards represent the negative cash flow or outflows. It is normally drawn downwards from the timeline. So let's go to the example and see if you understand how to draw the. So for example 1, assume that M5,000 is borrowed today and the payment are 1,100 per year starting the next year for 4 years. Draw the cash flow diagram from the lender's and borrower's perspective. So from the lender's perspective, it's like this. This at 0 is when the time you borrow. Since you borrow, so the sign is negative. So you will pay each year. A means annually paid for 1,100 per year every year. So how about borrower's perspective? So the borrower is the vice versa. The same, but the vice versa and vice versa of the arrows. So now we go to the example, a mechanical device will cost RM 20,000 when purchased. So this is the initial value of borrowing the money. So maintenance will cost 1,000 per year. The device will generate revenues of 5,000 per year for 5 years. The salvage value is 7,000 after 5 years. If the rate of return is estimated to be 15.5% per year, construct the cash flow from the lender's perspective. So they want to the cash flow diagram in the lender's perspective. So answer will be like this: 20,000, the money you borrow, and then you have 5 years. So you have 5 years. Each year you pay 4,000 per year. Why 4,000 per year? It's positive cash flow minus negative cash flow. In this case, your positive cash flow is revenue 5,000, and then your maintenance is negative cash flow. So 5,000 minus 1,000, you got 4,000 per year. So at the end of year 5, you have salvage value. So you add on at the year 5 another 7,000. So the value of cash outflow is 11,000. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture, and you may visit this link and find your task over there. Thank you. So for the chapter summary will be done by Farsha Group, and the final question will be done by Good Grade. Thank you. See you all of you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.